Hollywood has always had an uncomfortable relationship with time. It celebrates youth. It rewards beauty. And far too often, it quietly forgets the people who helped build it. For countless actresses, there comes a moment when the phone stops ringing. The leading roles disappear. The industry begins searching for someone younger, someone newer, someone easier to market. Julianne Moore knew that moment would eventually come. She had watched it happen to countless women before her. But instead of fighting time, she chose to fight something far more dangerous. The idea that a woman's value could ever be measured by her age. That decision didn't simply change her career. It changed the way Hollywood looked at her forever. Long before the Academy Awards, before international recognition, before becoming one of the most respected actresses in modern cinema, Julianne Moore spent much of her childhood wondering where she belonged. Her father served in the United States Army. Home was never permanent. Schools changed. Cities changed. Friends disappeared almost as quickly as they arrived. Just as life began feeling familiar, another move would begin. For a young girl, constant change can feel lonely. But loneliness has an unusual way of teaching observation. Julianne became the quiet person in every room. She watched people carefully, how they smiled when they were hurting, how confidence could hide insecurity, how silence often revealed more than conversation. Without realizing it, she was already becoming an actress. She didn't dream about becoming famous. She dreamed about becoming believable. That difference would define her entire career. After studying theater, Julianne entered New York, carrying the same hope as thousands of young performers. She believed talent would eventually open the right doors. Reality had other plans. Audition after audition ended with disappointment. Casting directors praised her ability, then hired someone else. She wasn't glamorous enough, not commercial enough, too unusual, too intelligent, too quiet. Hollywood seemed unable to decide exactly where she belonged. For years, neither could she. Many actors eventually changed themselves to fit the industry. Julianne considered it. She heard suggestions: change the hair, change the look, become easier to sell. Instead, she chose something far more difficult. She stayed exactly who she was. At the time, it seemed like a risky decision. Years later, it became the reason audiences trusted every performance she gave. Because authenticity has a strange quality. People recognize it immediately, even when they can't explain why. The breakthrough didn't arrive through one giant blockbuster. It happened gradually, one unforgettable performance after another. Shortcuts, Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Far From Heaven, The Hours. Each film revealed another layer of her extraordinary range. She wasn't interested in becoming Hollywood's biggest star. She wanted to become its most truthful actress. Directors quickly understood something unique about Julianne Moore. She never tried to protect her image. She protected the character. If vulnerability was necessary, she embraced it. If failure made the story stronger, she welcomed it. Every role became an act of courage. Not performance, courage. Yet despite extraordinary praise, one achievement continued slipping away: the Academy Award. Again and again, Julianne heard her name announced among the nominees. Again and again, someone else walked onto the stage. Most people assumed disappointment must have been overwhelming. Perhaps it was. But Julianne rarely spoke about winning. She spoke about work. Because somewhere along the way, she had learned an important truth. Awards celebrate moments. Character is built over decades. That mindset quietly separated her from many of her peers. Then came Still Alice, the role many believe she was destined to play. A brilliant professor, slowly losing herself to early onset Alzheimer's disease. There was no room for theatrical performances. No dramatic speeches designed to impress audiences. Only honesty. Painfully honest, watching Alice slowly forget her own life felt almost unbearable. Julianne never asked viewers to cry. She simply invited them to witness. Sometimes, the quietest performances become the loudest. When she finally won the Academy Award, the celebration felt less like a surprise and more like justice. Hollywood wasn't creating a star. It was finally recognizing one. By then, Julianne had already achieved something far greater than an Oscar. She had survived an industry famous for replacing women once they reached middle age. Instead of disappearing, she became stronger. The roles became richer, more complex, more fearless. While many actresses found opportunities shrinking, Julianne discovered entirely new creative freedom. She proved that experience wasn't a weakness. It was an advantage. Away from movie sets, she chose a remarkably different life from many celebrities. No endless scandals, no constant headlines, no carefully manufactured public image. She built a lasting marriage with filmmaker Bart Freundlich, raised a family, protected her private life with extraordinary discipline. In a world obsessed with attention, Julianne discovered peace in staying just outside the spotlight. Perhaps that's why audiences trust her. She never seemed interested in convincing people she was extraordinary. She simply wanted to do extraordinary work. Today, Julianne Moore represents something increasingly rare in Hollywood. Longevity built on integrity, not controversy, not celebrity, not social media. Simply decades of consistently remarkable performances. Young actors study her work because she reminds them that success doesn't require pretending to be someone else. It requires understanding who you already are. Looking back, it's remarkable how many times Hollywood underestimated Julianne Moore. Executives questioned whether audiences would remember her. Casting directors wondered if she fit traditional expectations. The industry almost overlooked one of its greatest talents. History had other plans, because talent eventually becomes impossible to ignore. Not immediately, not easily, but inevitably. Perhaps that's why Julianne Moore's story matters. It isn't really about movies, or awards, or red carpets. It's about identity, about refusing to change, simply because the world expects you to. About understanding that authenticity often takes longer to reward than imitation. Hollywood spends billions searching for the next big star. Julianne Moore spent her entire career becoming something much rarer, timeless. Because beauty fades, trends disappear, box office records are eventually broken. But honesty survives every generation. And that's exactly what Julianne Moore gave the world. Not perfection, not glamour, not fantasy, truth, one unforgettable performance at a time. Perhaps that's why, after all these years, audiences still believe every word she says. Not because she's playing a character, but because somewhere inside every role, they're watching the real Julianne Moore, a woman who never allowed Hollywood to decide her worth, and in doing so, became one of its greatest legends.